Welcome back to the podcast, What Changes Everything? I'm JC Thackeray, and this is a space for people who feel like something isn't working in their marriage, but you aren't exactly sure what to do about it. It's also for people who want to improve their marriage by improving themselves. Each week, I'll walk you through simple tools and new ways of thinking that can change how you experience your relationship and your life. Today, we are talking about the part of your marriage you can actually control. Have you ever felt like if your partner would just change a few things, everything would feel better? We all know we can't control our partners, but for some reason, we always try to do that. For example, if they communicated better, or if they were more present, if they understood you, if they tried harder, then maybe things wouldn't feel so heavy all the time. And it makes sense that our brains go there because we feel like the problem is sitting right in front of us. But what if we've been putting all of our energy into something we don't actually have control over? And we're missing the one thing that we do have control over. So when your relationship feels off, most people focus on what their partner is doing or what their partner isn't doing, what they need to change, and how they should be different. I did this too for a very long time. I thought if he would just show up differently, this would all work. And it felt very true for me. But it also kept me in a constant cycle of frustration, disappointment, and resentment because I was waiting on something I had absolutely no control over. There are two categories in every relationship: the things you can control and the things you can't. And one of the main things we can't ever control is our partner, what they think, how they behave, how they show up, and their personality. And I know that's the part we want to control the most. But what you can control and only control is your thoughts, your perspective, how you respond, and how you show up. This is the most part that people overlook. When all you focus on is your partner, you start to feel powerless because your emotional experience becomes dependent on what they do, how they act, how they respond, and how they show up. So you're constantly reacting. You're constantly analyzing. You're constantly overthinking. What does this mean? And why are they like this? And what should I do about them? That becomes exhausting. So, for example, let's say your partner forgets something that is very important to you. The circumstance is simply that they forgot. That's it. But your brain might want to go to, they don't care about me. I'm not important to them. And this always happens. And those thoughts create feelings like hurt, frustration, anger, and disappointment. And from that place, you're most likely going to shut down, get snappy, pull away, or start another argument. And then you will create more distance in your relationship. Another example is something like your partner being on their phone when you don't think they should be. The fact is, they're on their phone, but your brain is going to try to make it mean that they'd rather be on their phone than talk to you, that they're not interested in you, and that they don't care about your relationship. And then you end up feeling rejected, annoyed, and disconnected. And from there, you're obviously going to withdraw, get irritated, make a rude comment, and again, your result is going to be more distance between you. So this is where the tools come in. Your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings drive how you act. And how you act shapes your experience in the relationship. So even though your partner forgetting something is very real, the way you experience it is coming from what you're thinking about it. There was a time in my marriage where I was constantly focused on what wasn't happening, what I wasn't getting, what I thought I needed more of, and what I wished was different. And I remember feeling like something is wrong and I couldn't figure it out. Like no matter what I tried, nothing was actually changing. And I spent so much time thinking about it that it ended up driving me crazy. And I also thought about what he should be doing differently, what he needed to change, and why things weren't working. This felt very real to me at the time, but what I didn't see was how much of my experience was being created by me and the thoughts I was having and the meaning I was assigning to situations. And it was affecting the way I was showing up. So not in a blaming way, I want you to start to notice these things. Notice yourself thinking these thoughts when you're focused on your partner and the things they should or shouldn't be doing. Don't notice it in a way of, oh my goodness, I'm doing it wrong. Just notice it in a way of realizing, oh, there I go again. Look at what I'm doing, and become aware of it. And then you will realize you will have much more influence on your experience than you thought. So the question then becomes, if you can't control your partner, what do you actually do with that? The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is, number one, to shift your focus. Notice where your focus is. Ask yourself, where am I putting my energy right now? Are you replaying what they did over and over again? Are you thinking about how they should be different? Are you waiting for them to change so you can feel better? I want you to just notice it. And the second thing I want you to do, number two, is to separate facts from thoughts. What actually happened? Instead of focusing on the thoughts of what happened, I want you to focus on what actually happened and notice what you're making it mean. Those two are very different things. And when you start separating them, you can create a little bit of space. So the third thing I want you to do is come back to yourself. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up here? Not based on what they're doing, but based on who you want to be and how you want to contribute to the relationship. Do you want to be calm, clear, direct, and kind? This is where your power is. You don't have to control your partner to change the experience in your relationship. You just have to take ownership of your side of it. If things feel off in your relationship right now, it's easy to look outward and think, this is the problem, and point right at them. But when you start looking inward instead of outward, not in a blaming way, just to become aware, you will start to see there is actually a lot more influence here than you originally thought. And that's where things begin to shift. The next time you find yourself wanting to change your partner or wanting to control them, remember these 3 tools. Number 1, shift your focus. Number 2, separate the facts from the thoughts and the feelings. And number 3, come back to yourself. If this is something you're starting to see in your own relationship and you want help applying it to your specific situation, you can book a free one-on-one call with me. We'll look at what's going on and we'll start working through it together. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow the podcast. I'll be sharing more tools like this each week. Thanks for joining me.